Hey guys, Basement Breakdown here. It's been a bit, but we're back. I wanted to start off the video with some powerlifting and some gym content because my powerlifting meet is coming up, and obviously, you know, the gym, working out, powerlifting is a huge motivation for me and a huge part of my life. So I just wanted to add some of that to the beginning of the video, a little extra hype. But yeah, guys, I wanted to talk about this this Donald Trump White House card, whatever you want to call it. Donald Trump recently vowed to host a UFC event at the White House. This has brought Jon Jones out of the woodwork. He's back in the testing pool after only 2 weeks ago relinquishing the title to Tom Aspinall, who's now the undisputed heavyweight champion. Yeah, so they're gonna have more than likely a UFC event at the White House, and it'll be on the lawn. Guys like Conor McGregor have talked about wanting to be on this card recently. Guys like Colby Covington, obviously, another American. But there's a lot of stuff that you can do with this. I think this could be a really, really fun spectacle for the UFC and for people who wanna watch UFC. I think this will bring a lot of eyes on the sport, and it'll be massive. I wonder how they'll incorporate Donald Trump into it. Maybe as a judge or something. That is only a joke, guys, but I can't imagine his judging would be worse than some of the judges I've seen. But yeah, this is really exciting, and I hope this comes to fruition. So I did want to just share that with you guys, obviously, because it's news. But we have other stuff to talk about. It is fight week. We had a little bit of a hiatus, but we are back, guys. So we got to talk about it. Are you guys excited for Derek Lewis versus Teixeira for this weekend's fight night? I mean, you know, this is what we're going to have to talk about, guys, but it is a little bit weird getting Teixeira versus Derek Lewis for a fight night in 2025. But that is UFC Nashville. For our first fight of the night, guys, we have Fatima Klein going up against Melissa Martinez. I feel like I rate Fatima Klein a little bit more than I rate Melissa Martinez, guys. Melissa Martinez's last win was against Alice Ardeline, and then before that, she lost to Elise Reed, while Fatima Klein has beat Victoria Dudakova via TKO and lost to Yasmin Yusadishis. I do think that Fatima Klein's win over Victoria Dudakova, as well as her loss to Yasmin Yusadishis, impresses me more than Melissa Martinez's win over Alice Ardeline and her loss to Elise Reed. I feel like this fight will be a decision, and I could very much see it. Yeah, I think it's going to go to a decision. I think Fatima Klein will take it more than likely. I think Fatima Klein is better all around from what I can tell than Melissa Martinez and what I can see. I think Fatima will more than likely win a unanimous decision over Melissa Martinez and leave her in a pool of her own blood, guys. No. I'm sure it'll be a mildly entertaining start to the card. Or at least we can hope for that, guys. We move on. All right, guys, for our next fight of the night, we have Mitch Ramirez taking on Mike Davis, guys. Mike Davis is coming off a loss to Fares Ziam, where he lost a unanimous decision. Before that, he was on a 4-fight win streak against Natan Levy, Vyacheslav Borshev, who just got submitted by Terrence McKinney, one of our picks, Mason Jones, and Thomas Gifford. Before that, he lost to Gilbert Burns and Sadiq Youssef. That was back when Gilbert was arguably in his prime, and along with Sadiq Youssef. So not bad losses. Mitch Ramirez has lost to Thiago Moises and Carlos Praches. Mitch Ramirez isn't a bad fighter. I do rate him on some level, to be fair. I think he's talented, and he's not bad, but I do lean towards Mike Davis in this fight. I feel like it'll be a scrap to some extent. I don't know. I haven't really seen that knockout power from Mike Davis, so I'm not sure if he's going to be able to put Mitch Ramirez away. Although maybe Mitch Ramirez, coming off of, you know, getting knocked out, maybe his chin's deteriorating after getting knocked out twice in a row. But I think Mike Davis will probably win this fight via decision, guys. So we'll go with a Mike Davis decision for our second fight of the night, guys. Yeah, that's what I think is going to happen. We move up. All right, guys. Our next fight is Kennedy Njoku versus Walter Walker. Walter Walker is Johnny Walker's brother. I'm not sure why I started off with that, but yeah, he's coming off a win against Dontel Mays. Before that, he beat Junior Taffa, and his first fight in the UFC, he lost to Lucas Bezerski. Granted, Walter Walker was a much different shape at the time when he fought Lucas. He's lost a lot of weight. I don't know if it's steroids or a good diet, but he looks a lot different, and he's been performing a lot better. Some MMA math here would tell me, considering Kennedy Njoku beat Lucas Bezerski, the guy who beat Walter Walker in his first fight. Last time out, Kennedy knocked out Lucas. I think more than likely, Kennedy has what it takes to knock out Walter Walker. I don't rate Walter Walker's wins against Dontel Mays and Junior Taffa as much as I rate Kennedy Njoku. I think that he'll be able to get it done. I think, yeah, Junior Taffa has moved down a weight class recently. He's also fighting on this card. And I mean, Dontel Mays, what can I really say? But yeah, I think that Kennedy is going to be able to knock out Walter Walker. I don't think, yeah, I mean, Walter Walker, he's probably better on the ground to some extent, but I see a knockout coming from Kennedy Njoku. So go with a second round knockout from Kennedy, guys. We move up the card. Okay. Next, we have Lauren Murphy taking on Eduarda Mora. Lauren Murphy's old as crap, and the last time she fought was against Jessica Andrade, where she lost a unanimous decision. Back in her heyday, I mean, she had wins against Joanne Wood, Andrea Lee, some other people I don't know. She fought Valentina Shevchenko for the title after going on a five win streak. But she goes up against Eduarda Mora, whose only losses to Denise Gomez, who's, you know, she's a pretty exciting fighter to watch, to be honest with you, Denise Gomez. I definitely do rate her. She's a dog. She throws like a man. So that's not a bad girl to lose to. I feel like Eduarda Mora is going to win a decision over Lauren Murphy. I feel like Lauren Murphy's been gone from the UFC for a while. And yeah, if Eduarda was able to go to a split decision with Denise Gomez, I feel like she'll be able to beat Lauren Murphy by unanimous decision. So we'll go with the Eduarda Mora decision win. We move up the card, guys. All right, this is kind of a tough one. Chidi Njoku is going up against Jake Matthews. Jake Matthews is on a 2-fight win streak against Francisco Prado and Philip Rowe, while Chidi has wins against Elise Zaleski dos Santos, Jared Gooden, and Reese McKee. Before that, he was on a 3-fight losing streak. I do like Chidi a lot. I think Bang Bang is, you know, very much to his nickname, Bang Bang. Like, he goes in there to fight and scrap, and he's a knockout or get knocked out type of guy. And for Jake Matthews, I mean, he's the Celtic Kid. He's 30 years old, and he's had a lot of fights in the UFC for such a young guy. But yeah, he had that fight against Michael Morales where he went to a unanimous decision. Jake Matthews is a very talented guy. I feel like something's telling me to take Jake Matthews by decision, but I see a lot of decisions here. I feel like Chidi is on a nice little streak right here. I feel like it's going to be a good fight. Jake Matthews is definitely deficient in the reach and the height. I could see Chidi chinning him. So we're going to take a Chidi Njoku knockout, and we're going to take that in the first round, guys. I'm confident in that. I'm sorry, Jake Matthews, but we move up the card. Our feature fight of the prelims is Max Griffin versus Chris Curtis. Max Griffin's last time out, he fought Michael Chiesa, and unfortunately, he's been part of Michael Chiesa's 3-fight win streak as of late. Embarrassing. I think anyone who loses to Michael Chiesa at this point in his career will definitely lose to Chris Curtis. Chris Curtis is coming off of that fight versus Roman Kopylov, where they called it at the very end of the third round. I thought that was a bad stoppage. I thought Chris obviously would have lost that fight, but he, you know, they should have let him finish the fight. It was a really, really great fight to watch. And yeah, I don't think they should have stopped it. But regardless, I mean, Chris Curtis's last win came against Marc-Andre Beirut, I think back in 2023. So it has been a while. I just feel like Max Griffin, I mean, what have I seen him do? Almost take a dude's ear off in the Dana White's Contender Series. I feel like he's old and he does not have what it takes to beat Chris Curtis. I feel like Chris Curtis is levels above Max Griffin. If you can't beat Michael Chiesa, you're not going to beat Chris Curtis. Chris Curtis by unanimous decision. We move on to the next fight, guys. Let's go. Hey guys, for our next fight, Junior Taffa is taking on Tuco Tacos. I am worried. I know Tuco Tacos has not won a fight in the UFC, and he fucking sucks. But Junior Tafa has not looked very good in his UFC career. He has since moved down a weight class. I do believe he is coming off of a win versus Son Sharaf, where he gassed in that fight but was able to get the KO. Yeah, since then he's moved down a weight class, lost some weight. He looks a lot better. I don't know. His ground game's dog crap, Junior Tafa. I know he's always game and he's a brawler, but like, yeah, I feel like he should beat Tuco Tacos. I just worry for the takedown sake. Like, I see 3 losses here for Tuco Tacos, but I see 3 takedowns in his last fight against Navo Sterling. And to be fair, Navo Sterling has 3 wins in the UFC. So this really worries me right here. I feel like I want to take Tuco Tacos over Junior Tafa. Just for ground game's sake. Like, it's just like... But should I just go off of the fact that I haven't seen him fight at, in this weight class yet? I am so worried about this, guys. Okay. Zhang Minyang, Umar Sai. He's going up against... He's going to have to... Oh, my God. You know what? Screw it. I'm taking Tuco Tacos. I can't take Junior Tafa. It just scares me too much. I'm sorry. So I'm going to take a Tuco Tacos submission. We'll see what happens. Or a unanimous decision. We'll see what happens, guys. All right, guys. For our next fight, we have Vitor Petrino going up against Austin Lane. Austin Lane, the former defensive end in the NFL. One of the couple dudes who's made that crossover to the UFC. The other being Greg Hardy. I don't want to waste any more time naming any others, but yeah. Austin Lane had that fight against Mario Pinto last time out where he looked good for a bit, but his fight IQ was not very good. Like, he had that knockdown in the first round. He came out in the second round strong, but I had my money on Mario Pinto, and I was right. Mario Pinto was able to get that knockout. And before that, he beat Rebelsis, and before that, he was not doing too well. I don't really know what to say, guys. I feel like Vitor Petrino, yeah, he was undefeated until he lost to Anthony Smith. He had that fight with Dustin Jacoby, which was nice back and forth until he got knocked out in the 3rd round. I got to go with Vitor Petrino over Austin Lane via knockout at the very least. I don't think, Austin Lane's just, no way. They're giving this to Vitor Petrino to get him back in the win column, and I don't know if Austin Lane will be in the UFC. After this fight, guys, we move up. For our next fight of the night, guys, Nate the Train goes up against Morgan Charrier. Nate's last fight came against Doohoo Choi back in December of 2024. You know, he didn't look too good after coming back. It was a while. He fought Jamal Emmers back in 2024. And yeah, before that he fought Dan Ige in a good fight. I like Nate the Train. He's not favorited over Morgan Charrier on the betting lines, because Morgan Charrier, all he has is a body kick. His fight IQ is not great. I feel like oh my God, I'm so scared. Some of these are just scaring me. I want to pick Nate because I feel like he's a better fighter than Morgan Charrier. But I feel like Nate's just old. And I feel like his hands, he has a slight reach and height advantage. But I feel like Morgan Charrier should get the job done here. I don't rate that win. I just don't rate his wins. His loss to Chepe Mariscal. I mean, Nathaniel Wood's a good opponent. I think he'll have what it takes to beat Nate the Train, guys. I could be wrong about this, and I really hope I'm not. But we'll go with a Morgan Charrier knockout of Nate the Train, guys. We move up the card. All right, guys, our next fight. Calvin Kattar takes on Steve Garcia, guys. Yeah, Calvin's on a 4-fight losing streak. Since he came back after taking a hiatus from the UFC, he fought Aljamain Sterling after Aljo went up a weight class where he lost a unanimous decision. Then he fought Youssef Zalal in another tough fight. They gave that to Youssef Zalal so he could, inch into the top 15. I think Calvin was ranked something like 14th or 15th at the time. So yeah, he goes up against Steve Garcia, who's on a 5-fight win streak. This is definitely his best opponent to date. But he has wins against Melquizo Costa, Kyle Nelson, Seong Woo Choi. It's another tough fight for Calvin Kattar. I respect Calvin Kattar. He's definitely a tough dude. He's been in some wars. I really do like and respect him, but he's not going to win this fight against Steve Garcia. It's going to be another loss, and it's probably going to be retirement for Calvin Kattar. I don't know what you do after losing 5 times. But yeah, I'll take Steve Garcia by unanimous decision. I'm not sure if he'll knock out Calvin Kattar. I respect him a lot, and I think he's very tough. But yeah, I'm going to have to go against Calvin. Steve Garcia, unanimous decision. Move up the card, guys. All right, our co-main event. Whatever. Stephen Thompson goes up against Gabriel Bonfim. I love Wonder Boy, guys. It was tough to see him get knocked out by Joaquin Buckley his last time out. I thought he was doing a very good job in that fight. He hurt Joaquin Buckley with some head kicks. He was, that kickboxing stance. I love Stephen Thompson. He's super fun. He was winning that fight until he wasn't. I was upset when he got knocked out. He has a really fun style. His last win came against Kevin Holland. He fought Shavkat Rakhmonov, who abused him. Well, Stephen Thompson has good takedown defense. Shavkat was injured in that fight, and he had a game plan where he just wanted to win and do what he had to do to win, which he executed successfully. Yeah, Stephen Thompson goes up against Gabriel Bonfim, who his only loss came to Nicholas Dalby, where he got knocked out. I don't know. Gabriel Bonfim's last win is against Chaos Williams. This is definitely his toughest test to date. A ranked opponent in Stephen Thompson. This is really tough, guys, because I do like Stephen Thompson a lot. I see a lot of submissions for Bonfim, which means he's going to be looking for that takedown. He's going to be looking for a submission against Stephen Thompson, which upsets me because if it's going to be his last fight, I want to see him banging out on the feet with somebody. I want to see him in a striking, I don't want to see him getting held against the cage for 3 minutes or for 3 rounds and then retire. That's not fun. But yeah, I feel like Gabriel Bonfim, he's younger. I feel like he'll find a way to win this via decision. I can't take Stephen Thompson, and I hope I'm wrong about this fight. Please, Stephen Thompson, knock this dude out and, stay in the UFC for another year or something. I don't know. I feel like this is wishful thinking. I do feel like Stephen Thompson will lose probably a decision to Bonfim. Maybe he wins a round against him. I hope he doesn't get submitted. But, yeah, I think this is the last hurrah for Stephen Thompson. Prove me wrong, please. But yeah, we move up to the main event, guys. All right, guys, for our main event, Derek Lewis takes on Teixeira Teixeira. Why? Couldn't tell you. Derek Lewis recently signed a 5-fight contract with the UFC at the age of 39 or 40, whenever he signed it. And yeah, his last win came against, I think it was, Rodrigo Nascimento, who I just saw fight in the PFL about a week ago, and he looked like crap. But before that, I believe he was undefeated. I don't know. Derek Lewis, he was on a 3-fight losing streak to Tai Tuivasa, Sergey Pavlovich, and Sergey Spivak. No shame in that. Those guys were, doing very well in their respective careers at the time. Needless to say, he beat Marcos Rodrigo de Lima, and then he fought Jalton Almeida in a fight where Derek Lewis was obviously, he had the striking edge. He just kept getting taken down by Jalton Almeida and held there. It was very boring. And then Derek Lewis beat Rodrigo Nascimento. And that was a year ago. For Teixeira Teixeira, he's a pretty big dude. He came over late notice after fighting on the Dana White's Contender Series, and he was a late notice step in for to fight Justin Tafa. This was during the Duplessis versus Sean Strickland 2 fight. So I don't rate Teixeira Teixeira's win against Justin Tafa, a guy who, I just don't think Justin Tafa is very good. I know he's fighting on the card. Kind of interesting that he's fought in Walter Walker. Justin Tafa's fought in Walter Walker and Teixeira Teixeira on this card and lost to both of them. But he's still on the main card, so yeah, let's go. That's the Justin Tafa effect. Oh wait, no. Sorry, guys. I messed that up. That's his brother, Junior. I can't do that anymore. Oh, my God. Sorry. Yeah, Junior. Teixeira Teixeira beat Justin Tafa. Sorry, guys. I get confused sometimes. He beat Artur Lopez on the Dana White's Contender Series. I don't know, guys. I know he's younger, he's taller, and he's got the height advantage, but I do want to take Derek Lewis in this fight. I'm upset that I'm going against Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, so I have to pick at least one legend on this card. Not that there's many. But yeah, I want to go with Derek Lewis to win this fight via knockout. I just haven't seen much from Taliesin Teixeira. I don't know if he has a good ground game. I assume he'll try and strike with Derek Lewis. I just think about the Volkov fight with Derek Lewis. I think about that uppercut, or when he chinned Curtis Blades. I just really like Derek Lewis, guys, and I'm thinking that he'll have what it takes to deal with it, Taliesin Teixeira. I don't know too much about the guy, but yeah, we're gonna go with a Derek Lewis knockout. I think it's gonna come earlier than later. So we'll go with the Derek Lewis first round knockout, guys. I think they'll stand for a bit, and yeah. Heavy feint from Derek Lewis, overhand right, puts him away, drags his balls on the canvas, calls for Ronda Rousey. And yeah, guys, that's our fight night. Taliesin Teixeira versus Derek Lewis. I'm happy to be back filming videos, guys. I'm sorry I was away for a bit, but we'll be more consistent. I recently downloaded a Adobe Premiere, and I got a new computer, so I'm going to be stepping up the content. Let's get it, guys. Hopefully our picks do well. We'll see you in the next one.